When your father sold you to the John siblings for a lifetime of servitude when you were just 5 years old child. 3 years have passed and Jungkook stands at the door with his twin sister Jungwon and Wan's father, eagerly waiting for Wan's return home after 3 long years. Jungkook's nerves are on edge. He had insisted on sending Wan away from her education, requiring her to learn basic reading and writing before she could come home. This extended her stay for 3 years because she struggled to adapt to a new environment and was initially uninterested in her studies. Jungkook's anxiety is compounded by his feelings for Wan. Over the years, he hasn't pursued any other relationships. Convinced that Wan would return and ask him to marry her, he wanted to be ready to make her his wife and lift her from the role as a servant. However, he worries about what has changed in her life, including whether she might have developed feelings for someone else or even have become interested in women. As the car arrives, Jungkook's heart pounds and he watches and Wan steps out. Jungwon explains, "Oh my god, Wan, look at you. You've become so beautiful." Wan smiles politely and replies, "Thank you, Annie." Jungwon smilingly proudly says, "Oh, don't call me Annie. You're not kid anymore. You're 20 now and a beautiful woman." Wan smiles at Jungwon, but her expression falters when she notices Jungkook holding a bouquet of flowers. Jungkook offers a nervous smile, but Wan's response is cool and distant. She rolls her eyes and pulls away from her father hug, heading inside without acknowledging Jungkook. He steps forward, trying to bridge the gap. "Welcome home, Wan," Jungkook says softly, extending the bouquet towards her. Accepts the bouquet, but in a burst of frustration, hits him lightly on the chest with it. "You, John Jungkook, you sent me away saying I could come home on holidays, but you didn't tell me I could come home only if I succeeded in my studies. It took me 3 years," she accuses, her voice tinged with bitterness. Jungkook, taken aback by her anger and the use of his full name, responds, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize it would be so hard for you." Once anger flares, "I don't need your apology, I hate you." She then turns and heads inside, followed by her father. Jungkook is left standing there, sighing deeply and hanging his head, unsure of how to mend their relationship and turn her hostility. Jungwon comments with a shrug, "Well, she hates you, Jungkook. She hates a man, which means she could be interested in women. I'm going to try to make your sister-in-law wife. Wish me luck," she adds before heading inside. Jungkook's eyes again. Wine enters her room, throws her bag on the bed, and sits down, visibly upset. Her father follows her, his frustration evident. "What did you just do?" he asks, clearly angry. "Why did you act that way towards Jungkook?" Wine defensive replies, "Appa, if you're here to scold me, then please leave me alone." Her father, disappointed, say, "Since when did you start misbehaving with people, especially with the master? Didn't they teach you better?" "Appa, I didn't like it there at all. He is responsible for that." Her father responds, "Are you crazy? He sent you there to get an education. You were illiterate before and now you can read and write because of him." Wine, feeling hurt, says, "Appa, I missed you so much. It was so hard to be away from you. I thought you would be happy to see me, but instead you are scolding me." Her father, seeing her distress, sits beside her, trying to calm her down. "I am not scolding you, man, but you shouldn't have treated him like that. You have no idea how excited he was to see you, and you insulted him. He must have been hurt." When feeling conflicted, says, "I was also hurt being around stranger instead of you." Her father gently explains, "I won't always be with you, Wan. You needed to learn to live without me. Jungkook helped you achieve that." Wan, still upset, responds, "I haven't learned to live without you yet. Can you please stop talking about him?" Her father sighs, "Okay, but you will need to apologize to him." Wan nods, so she's not in the mood to apologize. She's more focused on her plan to take revenge on Jungkook. That evening, Wan prepares dinner for everyone, deliberately adding excessive chili to Jungkook's portion. She stands by, watching intently as Jungkook takes a bite of the spicy food. Jungwon, noticing the bowl, reaches for it, but Wan rushes to stop her. "No, Annie, don't eat that," she pleads. Jungwon, confused, asks, "Why not?" Wan, her voice urgent, says, "It's for him. Please don't eat it." Her father, overhearing, becomes concerned. "Wan, what's wrong with you? Have you forgotten your manners?" "I am sorry, madam," he says, pointing to Jungwon. "Please forgive the foolish girl." Wan father tries to take the ball away from Jungwon, but Wan jerks it back, holding it tightly. "You can't eat this, Annie. It meant for Jungkook Oppa," she insists. Jungkook, having listened quietly, now takes the ball from one hand. Jungwon concerned. Jungkook, it's okay, forgive her. She doesn't know you can handle spicy food. To everyone's surprise, Jungkook calmly sit back down and start eating from the bowl. If she thinks I made a mistake, then she has a very right to punish me. He says, his tone steady and unfazed by the heat. Wine watching this feels a pang of guilt. Before Jungkook can take another bite, she grabs his hand. You don't have to, she says, her voice breaking. I am sorry. She quickly heads to the kitchen, taking the bowl with her. Days passed and Wine threw herself into household chores once again. Jungkook couldn't bear to see her working like a servant, but he refrained from stopping her, thinking that if it made her happy, he should let her be. Their interactions remained minimal. Wine avoided him due to the guilt she felt from a previous outburst, lacking the courage to face him. However, she did make an effort to clean his room while he was out trying to make amends things. One afternoon, Jungwon and Jungkook were busy working on a project in Jungkook's room. Frustrated with the bureaucracy of their company, they had to get approval from the board of directors for any changes, which was proving to be a major obstacle. Jungwon visibly hesitated, exclaimed, why do we need their permission to make changes? It's our company. Jungkook seated at his desk while Jungwon lounged on his bed, replied, stop cursing and find a way to convince them. Jungwon threw her laptop aside and whined, I can't. This is so messed up, Jungkook. Wine is here now. You could. Jungkook cut her off his taunt farm. No, I'm not marrying Wine just to become a CEO. Jungkook Jungwon formed. Why not? She's a good girl. It's like you'll have to adjust much. She's beautiful and she'll make a good wife. Jungkook sighed. She's beautiful, but I don't want her to have to adjust for me. I can't be selfish. Jungwon argued. Adjust with you? Are you kidding me? Every girl at the office rules over you. You're handsome, rich, and probably a good person with a good heart. What more could a girl want? You perfect, Jungkook. She'll never find better. Before Jungkook could respond, they heard a knock on the door. Come in, Jungkook called. One father entered quietly, placing coffee mugs on the bedside table. Before leaving, he paused to speak with Jungkook. Master, can I have a talk for a moment? One father asked, his voice filled with hesitation. Jungkook sighed. Yes. Wine father continued. Wine didn't want to leave. She came back on her own, and I can't bear to see her working like a slave. I am thinking of marrying her off. Can you find a suitable groom for her? I want to see her settled before I. Jungwon, sensing the gravity of the situation and aware of Jungkook's feeling, interjected. Why are you going? Wine father replied. I am old. I can't be hot forever, so please hurry. I've been falling ill frequently lately. Jungwon annoyed said, you just had a minor fever. No one dies from a fever. Oh my god, someone please make him understand. One father, his eyes full of hope, said, please, sir. Jungwon, feeling the weight of his responsibilities and the difficulty to finding someone for Wan whom he also has feelings for, simply hummed in response. Wan father smiled gratefully and laughed after bowing to them. As soon as the door closed, Jungwon threw a pillow on her twin brother. Seriously, Jungkook, you're not even going to try, Jungwon exclaimed, exasperated by the situation and her brother's reluctance. Jungwon glares at Jungkook, her frustration boiling over. Don't tell me you're actually going to find someone for her, she says sharply. Jungkook, trying to avoid her intense gaze, mutters, I don't want to have any other option. Now let's get back to the work. He turns his attention to his laptop, hoping to bury himself in his task. Jungwon, however, is not finished. Why don't you just tell her how you feel? She demands. Jungkook sighs heavily, the weight of his emotion clear in his eyes. I can't. She hates me now. Didn't you hear what she said? Jungwon shakes her head in disbelief. Oh my god, Jungkook, she was angry. It's like how a kid reacts when their parents send them away to study. It doesn't mean she really hates you. Jungkook's frustration spills over. You know what? Just go to your room. I'm exhausted and need to sleep. Jungwon eyes flash with determination as she responds. Fine, but listen to me. I will never let you give that innocent girl to anyone else. If you can't marry her, I will, but I won't let her leave this house. If she wants to stay here, she will stay here forever. Understand? With that, she storms out of the room, leaving Jungkook alone. Her words echo in his mind. Jungkook cares deeply about Van, though not as deeply as Jungkook does. Despite having dated other girls over the past 3 years, Jungkook's commitment to ensuring Van's happiness remains unwavering. If it's come down to it, she's ready to step to ensure Wine stays in their home.